my attention from there was drawn to this tablecloth, and the crease in it goes downhill, and I reckon that summarised the afternoon. However, I'm going to preface my remarks, because in my submission to you I said this, I want to say it again in public, that this thing got off on the wrong foot. I know they've been murmuring about the new hospital for years, but in this latest urgent burst we've had of preparation, almost the first significant announcement that was made to the public was we're going to build a £400 million hospital. £400 million hospital. This was before we knew what was required, before we knew where it was going to be, before we knew whether we owned the land, before we knew whether we could knock anything down, before we knew to know all sorts of things about the site. It was going to be 400 million. Now I submit that that is irresponsible, and you certainly wouldn't do that at home. You wouldn't go to someone and say, I've got £1 million, can you build me a shed? But since then it's got worse. And since this proposition we're talking about now is about this building on this site, my plea would be refused and rejected. But I have to say, had it been about this site or this building, I'd have still said separately, rejected. But I have some sympathy for the architects because I simply think they've been asked the wrong question. They have done their best to try and get the requirements onto a site which is unsuitable. To start off with, they've got to leave buildings behind that are obviously in the way because they need those buildings when they start knocking down the bits of the other one. The site is not big enough. They said they wanted 20,000 square metres, I think, and they've got 10, so they got it twice as high as would be like. I don't know if people are still using old money, but that's 154 feet. Yep. That's roughly the height of a 17-storey block of flats. That's how high it is, for those who speak a different language. Nearly all of the problems that have been raised during this week, problems about noise, problems about pollution, problems about vibration, problems about compensation, all these things are because they're building in the wrong place. I also would say that what they're building is absolutely minimal in terms of provision. When you're assessing future needs of a hospital, I would have thought it made common sense to have more beds in it than you actually think you need. And since 32 seems to be the sort of magic number for a block of beds, I would have thought one more block of 32, while it would enable us to deal with an emergency or an epidemic, could also be a means of rotating through the wards so that you can have regular planned maintenance and keep the thing up to date. If this had had regular planned maintenance with spare space, it wouldn't be in the condition it is now. You call that a luxury? Yeah, maybe it is a luxury, but I think it's luxury what we're looking for now, and I think Jersey deserves better than something which is basic. It's what I call a multiple compromise, and I don't like it. However, from the work that's been done, it's clear that much good work has been done because the medics have made it pretty clear what a modern hospital needs. The research has been done, and it was fed to the architect. The problem then comes down to the fact it's in the wrong place. And it was said today that the site of choice was this, but you all know, of course, it wasn't the site of choice. The site of choice was People's Park, which had one merit. It was a blank canvas, and building could have taken place there without restriction. But even our politicians must surely have known at the time there was no chance they'd get change of use for People's Park. It was never going to be possible. So on the rebound, they said, okay, then we'll have it on the present site. That's how it came about. There has to be a better way than doing this. The reasons are obvious. Because of all these problems that have been raised, if you built elsewhere, the hospital could continue to function just as it does now, including those services which will have to be outsourced, like hydrotherapy and physiotherapy, when they knock those bits down, which will happen soon after they start. Now, all this relies on is the state doing the proper job of giving some money to the hospital to keep it up to scratch. Nothing to do with the new build at all. It should have been regular maintenance and money put into it before. If it's off-site, we can continue with all those services unabated until the new building is actually ready. I think if you could build on a plain site without all these restrictions of what they've got to knock down and who they mustn't interfere with, I reckon it could knock a year off the building time. But then I'm an optimist. This in turn deals with all the problems of traffic flow, socio-economic, noise, vibration, health risk. All these bits and pieces can all be removed by building on an open site. And such a site does exist, and sitting on it at the moment, looking forlorn and unused, is St Saviour's Hospital. Good Lord, no cries of horror. The site that St Saviour's Hospital sits on, I reckon is a comfortable 40,000 square metres. I actually think it's bigger than that, but it's easily 40,000 square metres, which gives you carte blanche to do exactly what you like. In other words, don't design the hospital on the restricted area. Design the hospital exactly as an ideal super hospital will be, and then stick it on the site because there's plenty of room for it. There will also be room, obviously, for dedicated parking for the staff and dedicated parking for visitors, and dedicated front door parking for A and E. I'll mention that again in a minute. Build the hospital that seems to be needed in that place, and almost all the problems disappear. What's the bonus? Well, X years, whatever it's going to be, 4, 5 years, 6 years of uninterrupted hospital service, then transfer to the new hospital, releases a prime site in town for inspired development, having had 5 years to work out what you're going to do with it. No need for an extra floor on Patriotic Street car park, and that assumes that the foundations will take it. And if they wanted to put in a drop-in centre, a drop-in clinic on that site, so there's something in town, they would have space to do it. Moving the hospital out of town, 3/4 of the population of Jersey live within 4 miles of it. 3/4 of the population. Show me somewhere in England where that's the case. The furthest person away, it be around 7 miles, and the only person I can see would have difficulty in getting to St Saviour's would be the Corbière lighthouse keeper if the tide was in. Yeah, you're allowed to, right. Let's bring me to my final point. We had some figures given from Helen O'Shea, and I think I heard her right, when she said that 800 people a week visit A and E. 800 a week. She then went on to say that less than 5% of those are scheduled as grades 1 and 2 for severity, which means that more than 95% of them weren't. We heard from Mr. Garvey this morning that those 800 people didn't go there by taxi, they did by ambulance. They must have come in by some other means. This can only mean to me that A and E, because it's in town where it is being misused, and that's a misuse of the hospital facility. A and E is supposed to mean accident and emergency. Right now in Jersey, it stands for anytime and everybody. I'm just hoping, sir, that your independent review will ignore all invested interests, steer us towards achieving the best we can afford, the best value for money, and a facility enabling our dedicated medics to provide a superb service for a long time in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.